What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. If I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is 18.
Mercer, one half of the tag team champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, end of the year edition, the holiday edition, the special edition, the Sorg's got a drink and is going to pop it open at the top of the show. Oh, that's what just went up my nose some reason. What I got? A Mama's Little Yellow Pills. And we'll talk about where that came from in a moment. Actually, I got to try this out. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and smooth. But we got too many people for a podcast, that's for sure. First of all, let's go down the line. First of all, with us from Macon, New York, he is the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE and the only Mayhemmer who rented a theater for the Spider-Man movie this Sunday. So please don't spoil him because he's about to threaten your life on social media. Mad Mike.
All of those are very, very true statements. And also, Sorg, because it is the Christmas episode, I am not drinking, but I have the merriest of Lego updates.
Oh, geez, that's a sled.
I have built Santa's sleigh.
I love it.
It's wonderful.
Fantastic.
I built it last night because I couldn't sleep. And I'm like, this is just fantastic.
I love it.
It's
I dig it.
It's so jolly.
I dig it.
It's holly and jolly.
We also have with us, he is the proprietor of Rizz Plays Games on your local Twitch account. He is the Rizz.
It's right there. Every time. It's right there.
There you go.
You can't miss it.
Well, yeah, unless they're on the audio version, which is a lot of
Unless
people
they're on the audio,
version.
which I was like,
so, you know,
I'm using the virtual
and
background
I love,
feature, which
I watched you push the button and all the great colleagues showed up on the Twitch feed.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sort of
you
trying
just saw me do it. You had
I literally, because the window was
you
right
had
beside
no
your window,
power.
and that was really fun to watch. So,
Yeah.
good to have the Rizz
have no
back with us.
power.
Yes. Yes.
Good to be back.
And I understand later in the show, you have a present for us.
I do.
You have a present for us. So we're going to have a lot of stuff going on here, including that. And also, Mad Mike's written 12 Days of Christmas Mayhem. Also with us, hold on. I don't have everybody in front of me because of the Zoom call. Let's see. Let's go around the horn here. Ronnie Starks is with us.
Hello, and I have a Turbo Man.
You do have a Turbo Man.
It's Christmas because Turbo Man's here.
Yes.
And, yep, I beat the crowds for him.
Did you just obtain that Turbo Man, or is that like the yearly unpacking of the Turbo Man situation?
I've had this Turbo Man for like 2 months.
Okay.
I
It's
have
been
a question.
safely nestled under my tree.
Uh-huh.
Did you have to fight the Big Show in a Santa suit to get that?
Somebody did say they were going to deck my halls, bub.
Wow.
That's some deep cuts jingle all the way reference.
It is. And also, since it's a party, I got a little bit of the bubbly.
Mm-hmm.
And Spider-Man is also here. So many props.
All the props.
Yes.
All the props.
And also with us in studio, a benefactor of I'm doing that. I'm using that word wrong. Farnsworth is with us.
We'll go with patron.
Patron saint. No, patreoner
Patreon?
of
Patreon?
No, we can say patron saint.
patron saint.
Let's say he's the patron saint of the Mayhem.
Yes, absolutely. Farnsworth, thank you so much for joining us on the show here.
Oh, thank you for having me. For a guy who hasn't been at a wrestling show in how long, I like to see that the door's still open to me.
You have opinions about wrestling, and that's all. That's good enough for us. I mean,
And
Yes, I
besides,
do.
we barely talk about this
Hold
shit.
on, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, get a sip. So what do you got? You brought the festivities here. I got the Mama's Little Yellow Pills from Oscar Blues Brewery
Yeah,
here.
all of these beers are from our friends at Oscar Blues, and this is perhaps the most Pittsburgh named beer ever, Dale's Pale Ale. So
Nice.
Dale's Pale Ale.
Nice. Love it.
So-
Love it. And then also here, as advertised, that's why he's been waiting so long so he can finish his popcorn, I can say this now, MLW's own Joe Dombrowski is joining us here. How you doing, Joe? There's applause happening.
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me back. And I'm not drinking any fun beer, but I do have my Andre the Giant water mug. If that impresses anybody.
That's impressive.
So,
That's amazing.
That is actually
That's
really
the-
cool.
That's amazing.
Circa mid 1980s. So we can enjoy the merriment of my memorabilia.
Fantastic.
How you guys doing?
Fantastic. I can't wait. We're going to talk a little bit more. You've been world traveled once again recently, And of course, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about the new gig as well. So so we'll get to that here in a couple segments. All right, Joe?
Hell yeah.
All right. And is that everybody? Am I missing anybody deep in the Zoom list there? Did Matt pop in or anything like that?
I think that's it.
I think that's all right
I think
now.
that's all. I think that's all. It's hard to keep track on these big shows without producers sometimes. And also, thank you everybody out there. You're probably checking us out live on so many of the social medias. We are live on the Twitch, the Facebook, the Wrestling Mayhem Show YouTube page, on the Twitter, and also a few of the Twitch of the YouTube for IndyWrestling.us. And if you are on those ones, unfortunately, I only have the chat rooms up for the Wrestling Mayhem Show properties, so we'll be keeping an eye out on those. But I will be responding to your comments after the fact, after the show. So please get in there and with any questions and comments as we go, too. You can also check us out, communicate with us at that email address.
Good times.
Good times.
A wonderful round there. I enjoyed. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or 412-206-WMS0 is the hotline. And especially if you're having your drunken festivities or just want to vent about the in-laws, just drop that into your phone for some reprieve.
Oh, please do. Oh, send us all the angry voicemails about in-laws.
Yes.
Please do. That'll be hilarious.
Explain.
And then we'll play them all and send them to those in-laws, specifically on Facebook, just so you know you have something to talk about for the next get-together.
Explain Lucha Underground to your grandfather and let us know how it goes. And also, we're on so many places free to communicate with us. We're on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page and group. We're also now on Discord, which is linked over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. We have a Reddit page over there. And, of course, the Twitter at Mayhem Show as well. And we're here live every 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday on Facebook Live. We will be taking a break. This will be the last live one of 2021. There will be some sort of pre-recorded content the next few weeks. We do have the live STD Christmas special happening this Friday, and that will be rebroadcast and put into your podcast feeds as at the regularly scheduled Mayhem Show time next Tuesday. And we are working on another show that I think we're scheduled for recording this week. If you're on Patreon, check your messages and get back to me about that as well. So we are looking to do a Patreon special and get all of you together for a little chat as well. Thank you to our current Patreon supporters, including our friends at the patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, our friends, the fan show level, Bo Diggity. Woo! As well as Ed Burke and Team Hammerfist. At the Pop Club level, Dave Ponder, OccupyProWrestling.com, and Bobby F. J. Town. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, Kyle Turner, and The Rizz. And at the manager level, Bradley. Yes, that Bradley. Oh, I'm going to see Bradley tomorrow night, and I have Bradley, if you're listening to this before I see you Wednesday night, I have a present for you in my car that I found on my travels.
Bradley Championship Wrestling, baby.
It's a butt.
I'll tell you guys on the break what I'll tell you guys on. I'll tell you what. He's going to get a picture with it, and you're going to see what it is. You guys aren't 100% wrong.
Oh, are you gonna? I think I know exact. Wait.
Wait. Listen, man. I found it at a truck stop. That's all I'm going to say. That's all. You're not getting anything else out of me.
It's definitely a butt. Yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna find at a truck stop? Just some ass.
I brought you something home, and she's in my trunk. Okay.
It's just a hole with a. It's just a wall with a hole in it.
Yes.
It's just a hole with a wall in it?
A hole with a wall.
Sure. Okay.
Sure, let's go with that.
So,
some real gory stuff there.
Anyways, it is a close of 2021, and thankfully happier times than it was probably a year ago when we were talking about these kinds of things. So I just wanted to take a moment, a few minutes on the show here, just to kind of look back, a sort of year in review. What were kind of the high points of the year? What happened? I mean, I think the state of wrestling is definitely worth talking about since, we didn't have crowds a year ago, and that started to come back about halfway through the year. A lot of things happened. I think the Forbidden Door started this year with Kenta, if I have my time frame right. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it started happening a little bit before that because Omega was already the champion in Impact, wasn't it?
Okay. Maybe
because I think it was Don Callis really kind of kicking it open.
Right, exactly,
Yeah, that's
exactly,
true.
and that's when he won the belt like about a year ago at the Winners Coming special, right? Which they're doing
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
for this year.
it was at Winter is Coming where Don Callis, as a representative of Impact and Kenny
Mhm.
Omega's friend, helped him win the AEW title.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's kind of what started the whole thing, because then everyone just started filtering in,
Yeah.
and Matt had his crazy board.
So I mean, yeah, the crazy board, which you haven't seen for a few weeks because it's just everybody's everywhere at this point. Like I saw
At this point, it's just a ball of twine.
I saw
Right.
I saw at least 2 people walking around with just belts from multiple promotions this past weekend, and that's just how things exist right now. Joe, you work right in the path of the forbidden door over there at MLW. You know, how have you been seeing this thing kind of develop through the year?
Well, it helps the talent because there is a better opportunity to experience different platforms, different styles, different opponents. You know, I think of somebody who's all near and dear to all of our hearts, like Lee Moriarty,
Mm-hmm.
who found himself working for Ring of Honor and Impact and MLW and AEW in the span of maybe a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Which once upon a time would be kind of unheard of, but you know, that just enabled you know, the talent to get out there on such a different level and experience, not just from a fan experience, from a talent experience, to see different organizations, how they're run, what's the best fit for me. And I think the landscape is changing so rapidly that, of course, with the ascension of AEW, with the revamp of NXT, a lot of talents are asking that question now. And a lot of free agents out there were hoping to find that right answer. But as cliche as it sounds, the real winners are the fans, because I love the fact that, you know, when I broke in, there was really only one place to earn a living. And now there are 5 or 6 different companies with some degree of national to international distribution, television, et cetera, not even counting all the streaming options out there, that can make being a free agent or being an independent contractor or being somebody non-exclusive a lot more of a palatable vocation. So I think everybody wins, and everybody gets a chance from a fan and talent standpoint to sample what they enjoy and find something that really fits them well.
No, absolutely. It's really interesting. It seems like the perfect time to do this because, you know, as we see, you know, one company seems to be just kind of ejecting talent, I'm kind of not worried about the talent leaving WWE because there's a lot of places for them to go. We're seeing a lot of them land on their feet, whether that be in Impact Wrestling or just doing just a lot of indies or whatever the case may be, and it's making the rest of it seems more exciting that they're able to even flow with that. You know, it's not the worst time to get let go from a WWE gig at this time. It's probably the best time to be let go.
It's not the worst time.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's the best time, but you're looking at a free agent market that is growing to the point that it's not going to be able to sustain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ring of Honor is not going to be hiring anybody for the next 4 months. I hope they are in a position to be able to come April. You know, WWE is on a downsize as far as number of talents in their employ, and AEW is only so big, and you know, their roster is so large as it is. Eventually there's going to be a wall there, and Tony Khan has picked and chosen carefully, and for the most part I understand and agree with a lot of his decision making. International can still be very strong, independence can still be very strong, and it's going to in turn create kind of a trickle down effect where now the independent guys have to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are somebody that's on top of these GCW cards, or, you know, any top indie, AAW in Chicago, Warrior in Chicago, whatever the case is, you have all these talents kind of trickling down and looking for your spots. And they're going to be, in some cases, bigger draws to an outside demographic. So what are you going to bring to justify your value? And it's going to be in some ways more difficult because there's a finite amount of spots, but in other ways it's going to allow the true cream to rise to the top, and the ones that truly are special and are deserving are going to get those marquee opportunities.
So is that disheartening for, the up and comers at this point, or is it just going to be, you got to be just better cream to rise to the top?
I think it has to be both. I think you have to look at it very pragmatically and understand where your spot is on the totem pole. It's just like using AEW as an example. As fans or as outsiders, we were all, of course, excited to see CM Punk come in the door, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Ruby Soho. But as a talent, you've got to be thinking to yourself, oh man, that could be one less spot for me. That could be less TV time for me. Like, how do I step up? How do I stand out? And that's going to be the way it is. And if guys leave AEW and come to the independent guys are going to ask the same question. So I think you should be concerned, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing, because this keeps you, on your toes, and it keeps you at your best. Because I always tell talent, you can't be complacent, because then you stop growing. Now you get a little more pressure. All right, I got to reinvent myself, or okay, I got to find what's next. I got to find a way to engage and connect with my audience on an even deeper level. And it's going to force guys to bring their best and, not rest on their laurels and not just coast. Because if you are, there's 500 guys that are just chomping at your heels, ready to pass you up.
Absolutely. Well, on the fan side, I think the exciting part that they're going on in the chat room here over on the Facebook page for Wrestling Mayhem show between Tina and Alex out there on the West Coast. So they and also just a Holly Jolly Mike, by the way, by Podner, just to throw that out there too. But they're high points for them was you mentioned the CM Punk return to pro wrestling. I think the Bryan Danielson, right? Seeing these guys, one, a big return and a big return to return to old form for Bryan. Farnsworth, you've seen these, right? Bryan Danielson Bryan Danielson. I'm still messing that up. I JR'd that one. But like this rejuvenation of this, it brings hopefully more attention to the newer talent for everybody else. But it's really exciting to see that for these guys, right?
Sure. I mean, they're I'm going to be very unpopular here and say that I don't think AEW is using their talent in the most efficient manner. Really,
even Danielson with what he's been doing. I feel like he's been very strong out of the gate.
That's the issue, out of the gate.
Okay.
And then at some, if you keep burning the log, eventually it's gone. And you're going to lose the special out of it. And I don't feel that AEW has learned how to maintain the fire without just pouring more fuel onto it.
But doesn't AEW, I don't know if you guys are recognizing this, but my feeling on AEW is they're really good about cycling people, right? Like, I could see Danielson going through this championship thing, whether he wins or not. Let's say hypothetically he doesn't win tomorrow night against Adam Page, right? I could see him kind of disappearing for 2 months, right? Maybe he disappears for 2 months, gets involved in something at the next pay-per-view at the beginning of March, right? Because I feel like people have that ability to do, that kind of other projects and not be on the road, go, like it feels like WWE does. Go ahead, Rizz.
No, I 100% don't think he's stopping.
Okay.
No, not even close.
Bryan Danielson is not stopping.
The only way he's going to stop being at AEW is if after the new year he goes to New Japan and wrestles at Wrestle Kingdom for a little
which is kind of a lighter schedule too, right? So I mean that could be the way. That
but the lighter the schedule with how hard he wrestles, it's almost kind of a moot point.
Okay. You're getting into.
I mean, at least because he's having the hardest hitting matches he's had in a while, and and he's like, some asshole tweeted me like, "Oh, Brian should have been doing this for 10 years." I'm like, if Brian Danielson was
No.
wrestling like this for 10 years, he would not be wrestling right now.
No.
Like, there's absolutely no way.
With that schedule and in the to wrestle every day like that,
Absolutely not.
no.
Well, also remember, AEW doesn't wrestle like that every day, right? They do 1, maybe 2 shows a week, right?
Right.
If you went to Japan, you're going to be buried in 8-man tags and 6-man tags and things like that for all the in-between shows, and go hard for a Wrestle Kingdom and a Secure Genesis or whatever the big show of the month is. Like, it's not like, it feels like it's a harder thing, but I think on paper, not being a wrestler, but it looks like, these guys, the reason these guys go nuts, because they don't have to do it 5 days a week, right?
If you want to talk about one of the things that one of the key points of this year, we lost Bobby Eaton. And if there's one thing that you could learn from Bobby, of all the things you could learn from Bobby Eaton, but Bobby Eaton didn't do the Alabama Jam on every show. Bobby Eaton saved the Alabama Jam for the big shows when the cameras were on. And you only got to see it at those big shows. He understood saving himself, and that the big impact stuff, it has to matter because you only get to do it so much. And I mean, he was still walking rough, but was still walking compared to anyone else who would have been landing on their tailbone for 20 years. So it's worth considering that New Japan booking of keeping them fresh for the big show is going to keep everything moving, both for them and for the wrestlers.
Right. So what else? What else from this year was really big? Big new champions. Big E, I think, is worth mentioning, right?
Absolutely.
Roman Reigns continuing, into fan, because I think we were really curious this time last year what the new Roman Reigns was going to look like when fans came back, right?
Yeah.
We had two big question marks when fans came back. One of them was Roman Reigns, and it worked out.
Yeah, worked out tremendously from the sounds of it.
The other one no longer works for the company.
Wait, which one? What was the other one?
Bray.
Yeah.
Oh, Bray Wyatt. That's right.
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that one, at least from that perspective.
And I'm sorry, Mike, I cut you off there, buddy.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, the Roman experiment is going well, but I'm a little concerned because it doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like there's an end game. Like this time last year, we all thought that, okay, so they're gonna, build up and maybe we'll get The Rock at some point. I don't think we're getting The Rock anytime soon. So like as good as Roman has been doing, he's also kind of been running through anyone that can reasonably challenge him. So we're kind of running low on, because if you look at SmackDown, especially now that Jeff Hardy is no longer with the company too, there aren't a whole lot of guys on that SmackDown roster, or hell, even on the Raw roster, that Roman hasn't wrestled and hasn't already taken down.
Right.
I mean, the one outlier is Drew, probably, or maybe even AJ Styles, but AJ seems in a different place right now than all that.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see. Any last notes before we go to break here and get to our next segment? Hey, what was the other big headliners for 2021?
Well, I mean, the return of CM Punk. And also the debut of Hook. So, I mean, comparable levels.
Yeah, same.
Comparable
same.
levels.
The Hook. Listen, I didn't get to watch the Hook match until Sunday night, but holy crap, according to Twitter, Hook's debut was bigger than CM Punk, and I witnessed CM Punk in person, and that was the most insane thing I've seen in an arena show. Period, in my life. And then Hook happened. But hey, there's that. Somebody mentioned the NXT 2.0 reboot. For me, I will say the big headline for me is this is the first time since 1996, no, 1998, let's say, that WWE lost me as a regularly watching fan, period. So they have become the second, we'll check the pay-per-view out. Oh, what's happening over there? So they I just Ring of Honored WWE in my life, which means
I was gonna say something else.
And that's not that's kind of a mixed bag statement, because Ring of Honor has always been, I can't keep up with their TV show, but if they come to town and there's a pay-per-view, I'm down to watch it because I know I'm going to have a good time. WWE is probably a little more questionable with that, but I'm not interested in the week to week at all. Love the talent, hate what's happening kind of thing. So like that's been a thing. I feel like, but there's a lot more options. Like Joe, we were talking about the options for the Forbidden Door for a lot of towns. There's a lot more options now for fans than ever, right?
There's an infinite amount of options when you look at the fact that the world has gotten so small, and you can see literally any company in existence today, either on YouTube or for a small fee on a streaming service or on television, and you've got an incredible backlog. You can watch any promotion that's ever existed as long as they had, viable television. It's the one thing that's lost so much is that when I grew up, you would be jonesing and looking forward to and just anticipating what's next. You don't have to do that anymore because there's just always something to cleanse your palate, which, you lose some of that anticipation and some of that looking forward to next week or what's next. But at the same time, people like me who are just insatiable, can just be 24/7 at this and still not even come close to watching everything. So no matter what you watch wrestling for, whether it's lucha, whether it's hardcore, whether it's strong style, whether it's the Japanese, whether it's European, whether it's anything, you can find a niche for it, and you can find people that do it really, really well. And if you're a talent, unfortunately, you've got to grow up a little bit quicker because the eyes of the world are on you, and you can't necessarily have those growing pains under the radar anymore. But if you're a wrestling fan and you're complaining about what you're watching every week, that's your fault because you're not trying to find something that you're into.
Yeah, change the channel or pull up an iPad at this point, right?
Vote with your dollar. That's what I always say. Vote with your dollar.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think Joe, we're both seeing shows where everybody's thriving. Everything from I've often said here in Pittsburgh, we'll have three shows running on the same night, and everybody's at capacity, right? Even this thing Sunday with Warrior, there was another lucha show literally across town because a lot of people were literally running across town. Sam Adonis had a conversation with that he was doing the same thing, Chicago's obviously a bigger market, but still there was 550 plus people there in our room, and I imagine it was probably pretty good on the other side. You've been seeing the same thing with AAW up there. Oh, these guys are too close on letters. But yeah, it's been fantastic. So, well, it's one of those options, and I will give a quick plug, of course, to Joe Dombrowski's ProWrestlingLibrary.com is one of those options. But one that we like to talk about here on this show is also IndyWrestling.us, IndyWrestling.network. A lot of great stuff over there. Also memberships over on YouTube. We're putting a lot of the most recent shows on from our local promotions of Rise Wrestling with a Y, as well as Prospect Pro Wrestling. Our friends over at RWA. I'm already drinking and I'm forgetting promotion letters. And also coming up on VOD, if you're following us over on our Vimeo page, we do have several of the Warrior Wrestling shows, and Wrestle Catalog is coming up on that. Our friends at Pro Wrestling Conquest, who actually have just announced a big show coming up here in January that is going to involve Scott Steiner and Dirty Dango is Fandango's new name. I found out. And by the way, Dirty Dangle's going to be taking out the Levi Everett, the butter churning Amish gentleman. That's fantastic to watch. So looking forward to that and be back there, Joe. I think you're going to be down there for that as well. You've been on that. I didn't know if your schedule's clear with that.
There,
I know.
yeah.
What's that?
I will be down there, absolutely. I could not miss what's going to happen when the personalities of Levi Everett and Dirty Dango or whatever it is actually meet and interact. And I just hope there's some kind of locker room interaction when Levi Everett says hi to Scott Steiner. I just want to be there for that.
Yeah.
Whatever happens next, I'm game.
We just get the camera ready for that moment.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
We are. I believe we've crossed the T's on it for the most part. That will be on pay-per-view as well. So we'll be returning to that on the Wrestling Network pay-per-view. So look for that too. If you're not in the southern West Virginia area, which I'm pretty sure borders about 5 states, judging by how many people come from different places down there. So look forward to that. A lot of great stuff going on. Rise Wrestling from this weekend, their 5th anniversary show, which was tremendous. If you are a network subscriber, it is already up for you. It is up for network subscribers, and it is up for YouTube membership subscribers right now as well. So please go check it out. We don't even have the match listings in there yet, and it's already live for you guys to watch. And it'll be rolling out for everybody else on VOD and DVD purchases within the next 24 hours, let's say. So a lot of cool stuff going on there. Prospect Pro Wrestling is going to be this weekend. Xmas Chaos. I think it's officially Xmas Chaos. That is not a shortening. That is literally the name. That's going to be at a new venue up in Butler. It's going to be a Toys for Tots a charity show. So go check that out. By the way, this will be my second time filming the legendary Doink the Clown. So looking forward to that. It'll be fun up there.
Who's gonna tell him?
What? What's wrong, Rizz? What? It's
Nothing,
Doink the
nothing.
Clown. It's
Nothing at all.
It's according to the last announcement, last time I was on the show with Doink the Clown, it was WWE Hall of Famer Doink the Clown, which I haven't.
Yeah, he only wrestles once a year, Sorg. It'll be great.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and he's taking on AJ Alexander, so only the best expectations there. Love you, AJ. But so looking forward to that. And of course, that'll be on the network and all the formats shortly after. And by the way, Tina is shouting out Pretty Boy Smooth, the new Rise Grand Champion. You can see how that happens. He wasn't even in the match beforehand, and he walked away with the
first
belt.
match.
He was first match of the show, right? So
First match.
First match of the show, yes. So
Actually, second match. Second match of the show.
I think it was it was a tag team match first. Yes, it is.
Mm.
So I know I haven't watched the
I was there,
entire
and
show, but
barely know the show. But
did-
yeah,
I
it's
did-
still really good though.
I only know the graphics part of the show so far. So, but I will be sitting down and watching. I'm actually taking the day off tomorrow, and I'm doing 2 things. One is probably watching Rise Wrestling while I play the Halo campaign, and I haven't got to yet, and also watching the Insane Clown Posse documentary on iTunes because I don't know for sure, but I do know that this is the project that Dutters and I were both interviewed for probably some 5 or 6 years ago. So. Because I recognize some of the shots as some of them they shot us as, I doubt we did anything interesting enough to be in there, but
Baby Sorg and Baby Dutters.
Baby Dutters, it was 5 years ago. Well,
5 years is a long time nowadays.
Now if they got footage with me at like the Gathering in 2001 when I almost got arrested, like that's a different story. So that's the only time I almost got arrested. I mean, other than being around the wrong person.
So far, Sorg.
So far.
Sell yourself short.
So far. Yes.
There's still plenty of time left.
There is an STD Christmas special coming up this Friday, so there's
We believe in you.
It's like
always an
that's
opportunity.
That's one of my predictions for the year. So.
What? That I'm going to get arrested?
Get arrested.
Sorg gets arrested in
Sorg.
2022?
Sorg. Also, I have a goal for this break that we're taking.
Oh no!
Apparently, Ziggy Heim is taking on Bill Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yes, this
And
Saturday.
I need to put eyes on that somehow. I don't know how. I'm not driving to Ohio.
Is that an
but
IWTV situation?
I don't know.
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I think that is.
do we
I
have-
think that's.
Do we have
I need to watch it.
we can. Yeah, that can happen.
I think we have ways.
I think we have the ways.
Yeah,
we have the ways. We have the
okay.
we have the show account, or right? With Actually, I think that's your account, Rizz. Right? But I don't know.
That's mine.
Okay.
There was something. It's
We
a,
have
it's, a,
ways.
it's a group. We're a family. It's a family plan. It's
Okay.
okay.
Watch along, got it.
All right. Yeah. Oh, I will absolutely do a watch along for that.
No, that needs to happen.
Absolutely do a
That needs to
watch
happen. Hey, we got a new tool for doing
Yes.
that now. So it didn't work last night,
That's
but
true.
that was on me. Joe Dombrowski, you're still here.
Present.
You've been doing some stuff lately, so you picked up a little gig called Major League Wrestling, which has been garnering our attention here on this show for a while. Not the least of which because of their Azteca Underground involvement lately. Because as you know, we are. Oh yeah, there you go. For reasons, as you can see,
Yep.
if you're on video there. Because we have history with that. But then we heard some familiar names like Joe Dombrowski becoming a part of this. So can you, how has MLW been for you, sir?
It's been great. I've been very happy there. They've given me an opportunity to kind of spread my wings and show what I can do in a on a grand scale on a big platform that I really haven't been able to do with any level of consistency for a little while. So the production staff, the management, my partner Rich Bocchini, they're all great to work with. They communicate well. I'm fed information as far as where we are, what needs done, what the business is. A lot of the key points. I'm prepped well. Is basically what I'm trying to say in a soundbite. It is a very well-run operation, and as well as I do, Mr. Sork, we've experienced some not too well-run operations. So
I don't know what you're
to
talking
have
about.
everybody kind of on the same page and working off the same strategy and with the same goal in mind is great. And I'm a fan of the product. And the ironic thing is I had never seen the MLW product until COVID. With the exception of their very first show I purchased on VHS when I was probably about 16 years old. I never really sat down to catch up on all the MLW TV, but when COVID hit, I started binge watching through the episodes, and I love the product because it's got the slick presentation that you want on a high caliber TV show, but it still doesn't lose its edgy, gritty, dangerous presentation. It's got the best of both worlds. It's not so overproduced that it doesn't feel like wrestling, and it's not so underproduced that it feels like it's in somebody's backyard or something. It is the best of all worlds, and I think Court Bauer's got an incredible mind and a hell of a roster. Being able to reconnect with guys like Matt Cross and Alex Shelley and Zoe Sky and Davey Richards, like guys and girls I've encountered in all my different travels over the years, and get to meet guys like Hammerstone and Richard Holiday and Savio Vega and Jacob Fatu, and get to work with so many of these guys who have either been legends in this business or on their way to becoming legends. I think it's a great cross section of just so many different styles and experience levels and just backgrounds, and that's where I excel, man. Just telling these stories and getting all these unique personalities out there and showing you why you should care about them. I mean, TJ Perkins, Casey Navarro, the list goes on and on of talent there. I'm such a huge fan of. And I get to go down to Dallas next month and meet the Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall. So I get to meet and work with Ho Ho Loon from the Cruiserweight Classic. I mean, we talked earlier about the forbidden door and open door policies and so much talent that comes in and out. And there's so many guys and girls hungry. And I think MLW's poised to showcase, a lot of the best these next few months on TV.
Absolutely. It is kind of wild because, especially when they had some in-betweens between recordings during COVID, because I'm sure that was difficult to try to get like a regular weekly product out. I mean, for everybody, right? I mean, working with the indies have been fun, but it's kind of like, where did this come from? Like, it's something you heard every once in a while. Like, I know Bruce Pritchard was there for a little bit, I think, booking or something like that. And you're like, hey, somebody, and I thought it was like a Maryland promotion or something. I think I confused it with something else. But then, like again, same here. Like, I didn't see much of it until COVID, and I was like, what is this over here? And then you start getting that history, and they show these old matches, and you're just like, why does nobody know about this? You know, it feels right, like at least nobody in our circles or something like that, right? It feels like a best kept secret of independent wrestling.
In a way, it does, and I think again part of that is just so many options and so much out there right now that you have to work that much harder to stand out and rise above the pack. But the shows that I'd watched from early MLW, you're talking Lucha Brothers, you're talking MJF, you're talking Joey Janela and Shane Strickland and DJ Z and so many guys who have gone on to so many big things. The Rascals and Ace Austin and Trey Miguel, and you could go on and on again. MLW's always had their finger on the pulse of who's coming up, who's next, who's hot, who's buzzworthy, and who deserves the attention. And the way they've been able to cycle through so much talent, when somebody moves on or somebody finishes up, again, next man up. There's somebody there to fill that void, and oftentimes then some. So the YouTube platform is very successful. I'm really happy and excited when I look at the numbers there every week and see that we've got 100,000, 150,000, whatever it may be, YouTube views every week. And that's not even counting the TV airings or maybe some of the over-the-top platforms that we're on as well. So the audience is out there. And I think they're, like we said, they're always going to be hungry for alternatives. And MLW right now feels like nothing else. It's got elements of, some of that old school Ring of Honor. It's got some of the elements of Lucha Underground. It's got some legends. It's got some rookies. And again, I think no matter what you're watching or why you want to tune in, MLW's got something that'll get you excited. Because I know there's, on so many different spectrums, there's things I'm excited about, whether it's the young talent like your Casey Navarro's, whether it's your legends like your Savio Vegas and your Blue Meanies, whether it's your big guys like your Hammerstones and your Fatus. Whatever your pleasure is, there's something there. And I think you look back at, we just did something called the Opera Cup, which is a yearly tradition now for MLW, which goes back to, I believe the first one was in 1917. I might be getting that wrong, but it had been dormant after the late 40s, and the last champion was Stu Hart. And it got brought back for MLW, and you had a tournament with Davey Richards, Bobby Fish, TJP, Lee Moriarty, Matt Cross, Calvin Tankman. You have just best of the best of the best of these names. And I'm forgetting a couple, and I'm sorry for that, and I'll kick myself later when I'm thinking about it. But that's one of the most wide open fields that I can think of anywhere in wrestling. You can talk about your Battle of Los Angeles or your Super Indies or your Super 8s, whatever the case is, but just watching those guys go and do what they do best, that's so cool. And then the next segment, you're back in Cesar Duran's office, and you're watching him wheel and deal. And then after that, you're watching Hammerstone throw people around. And then after that, you're watching Savio Vega beat the hell out of somebody with a kendo stick. So it's cool to be able to pick up on all those different moods and vibes and be able to tell those stories when you've got such a diverse roster.
Absolutely. It's very cool. And Matt Carlins has been, he was the first one that kind of brought our attention to it, within the last year, between Hammerstones and the Contras and a family of
King Muertes.
Yeah. But a family of La Parcas apparently. La
Parca and his two sons. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
they were just the tag team champions up until a week ago.
Yep.
And I got to put over the brand new tag team champions, 5150.
Yes.
Conan's new tag team with Homicide by their side, Slice Boogie and Danny Rivera. And I'm a big fan of Danny Rivera, Danny Limelight on AEW Dark.
Yep.
But he's one of those guys who, he's not the biggest dog in the fight, but he's got the biggest mouth and the biggest personality in the whole place. And I think by this time next year, the vast majority of wrestling fan is either going to have a strong love or a strong hatred for Danny Rivera. He's somebody that commands attention.
He's been somebody, because I know he's been kind of like the spotlight of us for AEW darks and stuff over the last year, and we did have a good conversation with him over on Indie Mayhem show a few months ago. But again, watching him going from that dark position and doing some really great matches over there, and I think he may have ended up maybe on Dynamite or time or two too, to rolling into that spot over in MLW and being in a more feature situation with Conan's group has been really cool to watch. Again, that whole Forbidden Door or that transitionary thing that happens with people on that level is really fun. And that goes to you mentioned the Forbidden Door. Like, I feel like there's that element of that what we love about indie wrestling as fans, of watching these guys roll over, improve, mix it up with different talents, and not just the same roster all the time, right? And MLW is definitely a big part of that.
I know that's what made it fun for me as a fan, when I was young and I didn't have the internet. I didn't know what anybody's contract looked like. I didn't know who was coming to Monday Night Raw, who was coming to Monday Nitro, who was walking in the door in ECW. And seemingly every week from per point there, you'd get a surprise. You get something you never saw coming. And it's so hard to replicate that now when everything is so out there. And even if you're not looking for it, it's on your social media feeds. It's everywhere. But yeah, seeing who's going to pop up next. The problem with, there's a lot of problems in modern day WWE, but I won't get into that deeply. But one of the issues is you got so many guys that stay there 10, 15 years. And, how do you keep that fresh? How do you keep that current? How do you keep that new and hot, exciting? Meanwhile, back in the territory days, you might go to WWF, and by the time you start, you already know your end date. You're in and out in 9 months. Just to turn over that roster. And it's so much more exciting, again, because you need fresh matchups, you need fresh rivalry, you need fresh personalities. And this does make it a lot more exciting. And again, using Lee Moriarty as an example, just the fact that he can be announced for a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and then before he even debuts at Ring of Honor, AEW signs him. I mean, you're watching a bidding war play out in the public eye right before your eyes. And, to me, that's just exciting as anything that happens in the ring. Just watching these guys' journeys and seeing where they end up and just how the chess pieces move. I'm excited to keep an eye on Gargano and see what he does next. I don't think he's in a hurry to do anything because he's, as he said on TV, his next important gig is fatherhood. But he's one guy, he can pretty much call his own shot. Wherever he wants to go is where he's going to end up. And same with Kyle O'Reilly. And that's such a liberating feeling. Again, 18 years ago, it was, well, you want to make it, you got to go here. It's not like that anymore. There's probably guys on the independents now that are making more money than, your low-end WWE contracts. And that creates such a level of competition for everybody that, again, you're only going to get the best.
It is interesting, the talent attraction to the different, companies or Forbidden Doorism or indies or versus a WWE, contract per se. It is fun to hear. We probably, I think both of us, Joe, have heard in our circles, the WWE isn't even a goal anymore. So
Yep.
And I think Gargano obviously, but general, we're seeing kind of an exodus from NXT. NXT was for the longest place the cool place to be. WWE or not, it was like the place everybody was going to have this hot vibe, right? And it just seems like, now that vibe just moved everywhere else, kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, WWE is not the goal, because when I started doing this, WWE was not the goal for me, because at that time they were not hiring wrestling guys to do my job. I think I started in 2003. The last time they hired a wrestling guy was Kevin Kelly back in 1996. everybody else who had gone into the announce table either came from the ring or came from a broadcasting school. So, or a high-end college or sports or whatever, but they didn't come from wrestling. So to me, I looked at TNA, I looked at Ring of Honor, and if they were going to make me an offer, it wasn't because of what they saw on paper. It was going to be because of something I did somewhere else. And I think now you're seeing a point where that's not just a necessity anymore. That is an active choice of guys who maybe they'll suck it up for a few years, get paid, and then come back somewhere else and get more money than they would to have that creative freedom back. And, you know, you're also seeing a shift in so many guys in the 80s and 90s were just in this for the money. You know, they got discovered at a gym or bouncing at a bar, or they blew their knee out playing football, and all that mattered was the dollars. But you've got so many guys and girls that have such a passion for this, that creative freedom and that self-expression and that identity is more important now than at any point in our history. So, you know, would you turn down $500,000 to make $250,000 and have more control over yourself? Yeah, to some people that's an option. To be able to go on Twitch or be able to start a Patreon or be able to do whatever, just have more control over your brand and who you are. And again, that's a rise with the internet and with so many, you know, streaming platforms and extra income that wasn't a factor years ago, but it's so liberating to see guys control their own destiny. And you know what? If enough people do it, the WWE culture is going to change just to be able to keep up and compete, because there's more guys than ever, I think, that are content just moving on.
Absolutely. You know, speaking of creativity, and you know, one thing that's being brought up in the chat room, and of course Tina, she's been watching. And what's up, Warrior Wrestling? By the way, I see they just noticed my shirt over on Twitter. And thank you for the Christmas presents. We got it. We also have. I just want to point out we do have the Warrior Wrestling ornament on the tree behind Farnsworth over there. So, so shout out to them. But yeah, she's interested to see what the featherweight division and everything. But she brings up one thing that I know Mike is very excited about. A lot of us are excited to see some new life. Kind of breathe into an old property that we loved when it was on, with this Azteca Underground and Cesar Duran, make sure I got the name right. So El Jefe, if you will. So you know, that's been an interesting integration to see that kind of, you know, obviously, you know, there was a very Lucha Underground, I think, benefited from some very reality TV you know, level people being involved in it. We talked with one that, you know, he worked on The Apprentice and had a hand in Lucha Underground, for instance. You know, I think you've had some pretty heavy, if I'm remembering the episodes I watched that you've been on, Lucha Underground, I'm sorry, Azteca Underground, don't want to get anybody sued, segments over there. What is it like to kind of see in that kind of roll in, knowing the history of that?
It's pretty wild because, you know, I watched all 4 seasons of the Boyle Heights Underground Wrestling Circuit, legally speaking. And that brand benefited from, as you said, a heavy television influence, but also everything about it was just such a fresh coat of paint from anything else that was going on. And I know there's a lot of elements of that people miss. And a lot of that vibe is kind of coming around again with Cesar Duran, and Carly Perez recently showed up with No Muertes. You know, the Lucha fans in general are so loyal and they're so passionate. And unfortunately, there really hasn't been a home for, you know, US-based Lucha fans to really, truly support and dig into. I know, you know, AAA is making those inroads once again, just had the special on Fight TV, and hopefully there'll be a lot more there. But I like that it gives an opportunity again for another vibe, different voices, and something that stands out, something that no other company is doing and nobody else could really touch, because, you know, so many people that were so instrumental on camera to that feeling are now in MLW from your Mil Muerteses, and certainly under maybe different names or monikers, but guys like Matt Cross as well. And you're going to see a lot more lucha influence starting next month, because you're going to see everything that went down in Tijuana with the launch of the Azteca Underground miniseries. And you're going to see one of the most famous lucha venues that helped build the careers of Conan, Rey Mysterio, and Psychosis, and the Lucha Brothers. There's going to be probably 4,000 or 5,000 fans strong to watch what we do. And you're going to see not just the great MLW stars, but great stars of AAA and the Crash, like Ray Orlus and Hijo del Vikingo and Octagon Jr., and all these lucha names that may not be household names to U.S. fans yet, but I think will be very, very soon. So obviously lucha has a place close to my heart because I've done Triple Mania, I've done Expo Lucha, I've done stuff with Conan and Kevin Kleinrock and guys like that, and it's helped me out a lot. And I've really embraced that culture and appreciate and respect it very much. So to me, it fits even more like a glove to have such a rich lucha influence in the MLW product.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. So I understand. So the Tijuana shows happened. Was that last weekend? I think. I'm sorry, my days are getting fuzzy right now. But
I have no concept of time.
No, neither. It gets even it gets even fishier when you talk about the release schedule too, right? So, but that'll be rolling out.
So,
that's going to be part? Is that going to be part of their weekly show? The Tijuana tapings, or is there anything else coming up?
Yeah, it's going to be weekly miniseries starting, I believe, the first Thursday in January.
Excellent. Looking forward to that for sure. I mean, even just the images I saw from that, I think you may have shared a few of them, but they were definitely on my Twitter feed when that was going on down there. Really, really looking forward to seeing that. And it's also really nice because it comes on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. I believe Eastern time, which means you can get your MLW fill right going into AEW Dynamite and just make a night of it. So some really good positioning there.
And plus it's on YouTube, so if you miss it, you can check it in the archives anytime.
Absolutely.
They have standalone clips that are posted, so it's really convenient in that sense. And if you have BN Sports as well, episodes premiere, I believe, every Saturday night there.
That's the UK one, right? Is that the one where they shoot the WWE UK in their studio over there? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
BN Sports is the official television home of MLW.
No, it's BT Sports. BT Sports.
BT Sports. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I get my sports mixed up. No, excellent. So go check that out. Joe Dombrowski hanging out with Rich Bikini over there. And it's worth checking out. It's worth diving into. And I gotta say, if you drop in a look for one of these recent MLW Fusion episodes that's got a few faces that look familiar. Infinitely drop-inable. If that's a phrase, I guess.
I'm gonna try and watch some of it over the break because I desperately need a lucha fix in my life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah, and if this gets me some more Cesar Duran on my screen, then that's all I really need for Christmas, honestly.
Hey, are you ready for Cesar Duran just mixing it up with like Conan for reasons?
Yeah. By the way, Joe, I don't know if you have any pull, but if you could get him on this show, we would love and appreciate that.
Hey, the only thing Cesar Duran responds to is cold hard cash. I don't know if you guys.
I'm prepared to pay cold hard cash.
Maybe I'll make an offer.
So
yeah,
I
mean,
well, we'll have a Cesar Duran booking level to Patreon coming up soon.
I was gonna say we can present him with a unique opportunity.
Yes, we can. Would you like a podcast that barely talks about wrestling? Welcome.
Oh, man,
that's your unique opportunity.
Wild.
By the way, Sorg, when I contribute to the Patreon level this year,
yes,
I want my level to be called the unique opportunity.
Opportunity. Oh, Mike, please put a pin on that. If you even want to just at me on Slack with that phrase, I got some ideas rolling in my head on that. So, Joe, always awesome to have you on the show. I'm glad to see that.
I'm sorry to jump in here,
yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
Just quick question here. You've been talking about all this. Am I to understand you've been doing shows without me?
Oh, well, no. What happened was, I was meaning to call you, but I
have
things
been
came up
sitting by my phone. I slave day and night, and the only place you take me is for granted. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
When I work with the other color analysts, I don't feel anything though. I don't feel anything when I'm with them. I'm a one color commentator guy. You know that.
Rich Bikini is no Farnsworth. I can
Rich
confirm.
Bikini is no Farnsworth at all.
No.
Rich Bikini is why I was almost late because he slept through the beginning of our Zoom session today. That's
Well, I think he just got back from Chicago too. So, and he lives out west, I believe. So, yeah.
No, he lives in Florida.
Oh, does
No
he?
excuse.
Oh, jeez, I thought I was wrong.
Big old jerk face. Listen, if you're
Whoa.
Look at you in the palm trees, Rich. What the hell?
Right?
Jeez.
I don't want to hear any excuses. I do Chicago every month. I know how exhausting that is. But
Yeah. Well, it looks like
I was in the faraway land known as Elyria, Ohio this weekend, but I'm still here.
Oh. Wait till you see my map for this weekend.
I saw Trey Miguel the day before you did.
You did. You did you? There was
yeah.
Oh, well, my geography and time frames are really messed up right now. So, but
okay, so Saturday came before Sunday.
Yes.
And I saw Trey
I'm
Saturday.
sorry. I spent 14 hours in a car on Saturday, so it kind of didn't exist to me.
Well, it's not my fault.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's my booking person. So, no, yeah. Again, a lot of really cool stuff that we literally can't keep track of. So that's great. So, but anyways. Thank you, Joe Dombrowski. Look him up on all the social media. And Joe, by the way, even if you're not down with the MLW for one reason, which shame on you.
I got 2 words for you. Oh, sorry, we're not doing that.
No, not that one. No. But
Okay.
follow. No, I was giving you a different kind of plug. Not one of those. The just let everybody's mind race for a moment and panic. I have been drinking. But no, follow Joe's social media because Joe digs up the coolest old clips, which I think is just in your watch list, right?
Yes, that's me entertaining myself.
Yes.
If I post something at 4 a.m. and it's some obscure nonsense you never knew happened, that's just me amusing myself and sharing it with the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love whether it's magazine clippings or TV footage or just rare facts. If it intrigues me, it'll probably intrigue you guys too. So I like sharing little tidbits from wrestling history that have fallen through the cracks over the years.
Love it. Hey, we have a special gift from Rizz, but first I want to give a shout out here to our friends that have been supporting us over at Slice on Broadway. If you're in the area, New York City style, Yinza Made Farms has been partaking here tonight here in the studio. We got to get more people. That's the New Year's resolution. Things are kind of settling down. We have protocols. Get more people in the studio so I don't have to eat so much pizza after the show. But also generally because I will, because it's delicious, and I will. And for breakfast and for tomorrow's lunch, it will always happen. But I need to work on the girlish figure too. So go check them out over at sliceonbroadway.com, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. And of course, as always, I know I'm looking at people on the West Coast in the chat room. I know it's not everywhere. I know it's just here in Pittsburgh. But please, even if you're not here to partake in our friends at Slice, partake in and support your local independent pizza joint, just like we ask you to support your local independent wrestling, unless they're like a bullshit yarder fed, and also if they're bullshit yarder pizza too. But
yeah, if you see people making pizza in their backyard, don't trust them.
Back away.
If
away.
they're on a
If people
trampoline
are
cooking up pizza Don't go there.
I want somebody out there to illustrate me backyard pizza.
I
How
have a
that works.
friend with a pizza oven in his backyard.
Oh,
A wood
Not to be
fired
trusted.
a wood fired pizza oven. He makes a pie called the David Bowie. It is fantastic.
Okay. All right. Okay.
By the way, it's so good.
Exceptions to every rule.
Slice is so good. I went there this week.
Yes. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I love Rizz messages me every time he has Slice. It's fantastic.
Every time
he drives by Slice or walks by or spikes by or whatever the hell he does out there.
The last few times.
Hold on. You're back.
tried Slice on Broadway.
What's
I'm
that?
back. Good. The last few times I went to Slice on Broadway, or I had it delivered via Grubhub, I sat there and I went, I'm going to send this picture to Sorg. I opened the box. Halfway through eating the pizza, I remembered I was going to send it to Sorg. So I just sent him an empty box.
It's just what?
You
What are
had
you
one
trying to
job.
tell me? Why aren't you just showing me that you're not sharing? What is happening here? So
That's exactly what I'm doing, Sorg.
what was that, Ronnie?
I said he had one job, and he didn't do that properly.
No.
I was like,
Oh, I did. I ordered Slice on
exactly.
Broadway.
You just lose your sense.
Hold on, Sword.
Yes.
Before we get into the predictions and all that stuff, I do have a quick question for Joe.
Okay.
Because I was looking for like some of those fun facts. I found that Joe just watched for the first time ever Die Hard.
Oh yes,
Correct.
yes.
Wait.
Also fun.
And I was looking for follow-up comments and saw none. So, thoughts?
Yeah, see, and the reason there were no follow-up comments is because I only post those things to make people irrationally angry. I enjoy the
Okay,
fact that people get upset that I haven't watched these movies. I'm watching them.
What a
but
heel.
I don't think my opinion's relevant. I thought it was all right. I don't think it was. Is it up to the hype? I don't know at this point if anything can live up to the hype when I watch it 35 years late.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Ooh.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, watch yourself.
I'm gonna give it a qualified yes.
Okay.
Okay.
There was a tree. It was set properly. There was Christmas music maybe in the credits. I mean, it checked a lot of boxes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd watch it again. I'm fine with it. I watched Jerry Maguire for the first time as well. I had a little trouble getting into it beyond kind of the catchphrases and the famous scenes, but Die Hard was okay. I would say 7 out of 10 would Die Hard again.
Excellent. Okay.
Or maybe 5 or 6 more times. So just like
honestly, if you would Die Hard again, watch 2, watch 3. You can skip the rest.
Yeah, I won't die as hard as others.
I mean, I'm okay skipping 2, 3.
I will
so-
die a moderate.
Oh no, I like 2. I like 2 a lot.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I haven't watched Die Hard before.
3 was my
Two's
introduction. 3 was my introduction to Die Hard, I think. So yeah.
Ronnie, did you say you haven't watched Die Hard before?
I've never watched Die Hard before.
Oh, what the hell?
Sword, cut his mic. Cut his mic, Sword.
Well,
Can we cancel that delivery for him?
It's all the same mic. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, so we have a special. Hold on. Let me transition here for a second. So we have and we're not going to be able to see him while he says this. But we have a special message, it would seem, and we bring him back here. Rizz, we're not going to see you for a moment. Can you introduce what is about to happen?
This past year, you guys did a very special thing for me, and I think was it?
I think it was Christmas last year. It was my
this
Christmas
time last
present
year?
to you.
I believe it was.
I'm sorry I didn't get
my
you anything
Christmas
this year.
present was the cameo of a lifetime from WWE Hall of Famer, the Great Khali,
Yes.
saying that I'm his new tag team partner, which was interesting.
Have you had your first match together yet? Will you probably the travel ban's been tough.
It's
yeah.
difficult now. It's asthmatic. It's weird.
I
Anyways.
look forward to the Great Khali and Rich tag team though.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
yes.
true.
Yeah.
I
So
look forward to it.
and I know this was a group project for you guys, and I do appreciate that so much. That now it's my turn.
Oh.
Now
okay.
you got me.
Okay.
And I have a very, very special message for you, the fans, and of course you, Sorg, and Mike,
Okay.
and everybody on this call.
All right. Well, we're going to hit play
Play
on
that
this
clip.
and play that clip.
Hey Sorg, it's Trent's mom Sue. Hope you're having a great day. Want to wish you a very special Merry Christmas. I understand that you have done podcasts for the wrestling, the Mayhem show for the past 15 years. That's like awesome. And you also work with some independent, you do video work for some independent programs and stuff. And there's a guy named Mad Max, and there's a whole bunch of Mayhem people and fans. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy holiday, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. This is such a pleasure to be doing these little videos for fans, and I really love being a part of the whole show with Trent and driving in the white minivan and chaos. It's like, what a great group of people. It's just it's one of the most awesome experiences that I've ever had. It's a lot of fun. And I want to let you know, this is from the Rizz. I don't think I said that. And I hope everyone has a
Totally
great
fine,
day.
Sue. It's fine.
Thank you so much for your support. Take it easy. Trent's mom, Sue. Bye. Have a nice day.
Oh my! Thank you so much, Riz, and thank you, Sue.
And thank you, Mad Max.
It is the
Mad
first
Max,
time,
yes.
and Mad Max, that is your new
Mad Max, you can check my Zoom name now. My Zoom name
Mad
is now
Max
It's
Beyond
Mad Max.
May,
Mad
from
Max.
From Beyond Mayhem Dome. Yes.
Now,
so-
now we have Mad Max and Rich. Let's go.
Mad Max and Rich.
Mad
I
Max
love
and
it.
Rich.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Uh,
Guys.
It's funny when you said you had a present. I was looking through Cameo. And I'm like,
who? You're like, who can it
who'd he
be?
get?
so
who'd he
it came
get?
down. It came down between Sue
Mm-hmm.
and Barry Horowitz. I think I chose correctly.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think you did. Too.
Although I did see someone. I had to message Chad the Chat immediately.
Hmm.
Okay.
Do you know who was on Cameo?
Sue?
Michael Q. Knoxville.
Oh,
I
no.
almost-
Okay.
I didn't see him.
Well, he did just resurface at NWA, but anyways, hey, we got some more
I
messages.
messaged Chad immediatly. I'm like, I would have messaged Remedy, but for some reason he has his DMs off. But
Mm.
Jesus.
Probably for reason. Probably because we
Yes.
keep reminding him about his wrestling career. But anyways, so we got even more coming up. We have another message from a friend of the show that we're going to have here in just a moment. But when we come back, we are going to do our predictions and see how we did on predictions for 2021 as we go into our predictions for 2022. And then we also have one more video to play because it is the holidays, and you know what we do in this show. It is going to be time for 12 days of Christmas of Mayhem. Christmas Mayhem? Yes, sure.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this.
Hello, I am Xander Gabriel, and I am the host of the Xander Zone, as well as one of the top prominent wrestlers of Prospect Pro Wrestling. I really hope you're enjoying the show because I am not. I wasn't invited. But this Saturday, December 18th, I am invited to Prospect Pro Wrestling's last event of the year, Christmas Chaos, a charity event in which we are asking all the fans, all the 2PW faithful, to please bring a toy and donate it to Toys for Tots. Not only can you participate in a worthy charity, but you can catch some of the best wrestling in Butler, Pennsylvania. Head on over to the 2PW Facebook page now to get your tickets. And until then, I will see you there.
Spawn's legendary podcast.
Watch out on the TV network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
To what you're saying.
Former tag team partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth, and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning, and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
And now a public service announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. Now, I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team effort. And if we're being completely honest, some of you need not only this mask, but this mask too.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and we have too many people here to really go down the list. But I'll try. We got Mad Mike. We got the Rizz. We got Ronnie Starks on the line. We got Joe Dombrowski of MLW and Farnsworth on the couch. I couldn't keep up with the switches. But we have, first of all, Mike, before we get to our predictions, we have a very special presentation. Mike, would you like to introduce this next piece that we're setting up?
Absolutely, Sorg. So typically, and I had to make a costume change because I thought we had another show before the Christmas show.
I know it's a little earlier than usual.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm repping the up, down, down. So gotta represent. But so normally for Christmas, I write a Christmas song, and in past years I've performed it myself, which I'm pretty sure we can all agree is never a good idea. So Sorg last year surprised me by having me do a 12 Days of Christmas and getting some other people to sing it.
Yeah.
And it looks like he had me do the same thing this year, and I'm quite excited because this is fun for me because I wrote a song, I wrote a thing, and now I'm going to hear it performed in some form or fashion. Very excited to hear it.
Performed. I mean, in some cases, it might be a loose interpretation that you're hearing it be performed.
I'd expect nothing less. It is the Wrestling Mayhem show, not the
Yes.
Wrestling Well Organized show.
Yeah, there's that too.
Two on the show.
So let me get set up here, and here we go into 12 days of mayhem. Enjoy. Oh, I gotta hit play on it. That helps too. There we go.
Oh yeah, baby, Christmas time. Yinza loves Christmas, and this one goes out to all Yins who love Christmas too.
Yeah, good. Right in the middle. You can see top of my head and everything.
Oh, you best believe I brought a cheat sheet again this year. But you know what else I brought? So alright guys, let's get started. On the first day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me someone to book more matches for tag teams, you cowards.
On the second day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me two nerdy mics,
And someone to book more matches for tag teams.
On the third day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me three new day members, two nerdy mics.
And someone to book more matches for tag teams.
On the fourth day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me
4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics, and tag teams. Tag me in.
On the fifth day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me
2 jingle bells.
4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics, and someone to book more matches for tag teams. How it's going to do it? On the 6th day of Christmas,
the Mayhem gave to me
6 shows a week and 5 big questions. 4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics, and someone to book more matches for tag teams. On the 7th day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me 7 hosts of bickering, 6 shows a week, and 5 big questions.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. 2 nerdy mics.
And someone to book more matches for tag teams.
You cowards. On the 8th day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me 8 slices from Broadway, 7 hosts of bickering, 6
shows a week, and 5 big questions.
4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics, and someone to book more matches for tag teams.
Tag teams.
On the 9th day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me 9 matches on Brother.
8 slices from Broadway, 7 hosts of bickering, 6 shows a week, and 5 big questions. 4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics, and someone to book more matches for tag teams.
Come on, cowards, do it. On the 10th day of Christmas, Mayhem gave to me 10 plugs for Marvel, 9 matches on Dark.
8 slices from Broadway, 7 hosts of bickering, 6 shows a weekend, 5 big questions, real big ones. 4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics.
On the 11th day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me
11 Forbidden Doors opening, 10 plugs for Marvel, 9 matches on Dark, 8 slices from Broadway, 7 hosts of bickering, 6 shows a weekend, 5 big questions.
Gotta keep going.
4 Patreon levels, 3 New Day members, 2 nerdy mics, and best wishes from the lottery. No, that's not right.
On the 12th day of Christmas, the Mayhem gave to me
12 calls from Johnny on.
10 plays from Mark, 9 matches on Dark, 8 slices of Broadway, 7 hosts of Bakery, 6 shows a weekend, 5 big questions, 4 Patreon levels, 3 new members, 2 name mics.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yinza loves you.
I'm Mr. Wink, and Merry Christmas. Are we done yet?
Well, Mike, there you go.
Holy shit!
That I gotta say, there was better singing this year, and for the live, we're gonna fix it for the other versions, but it was apparently too much for the board. So, but we'll have the clean one up on the social media. What's that, Mike?
Oh my god, that was wonderful.
That was
that was. Oh my god. I'm not sure what my favorite part of that was.
Was it the cat? Was it?
It might have been the cat. It might have been the random child saying "you cowards." Like,
no. Just having Justin Idol not doing anything that for like half of that, it was amazing.
Yes. Yes.
And Yinza's reaction for the 12 calls from Johnny. It was just sad for half the rest of the verse.
Yes. If you are on audio and listen to that, first of all, I'm sorry. But it really is a visual presentation. It will be on all of our social medias, TikTok, wherever. Actually, I don't think it's going to fit on TikTok. It's too long. But we'll do part 1 and part 2. Yeah, it's something else. And thank you, everybody.
And I'll say this again.
If
Tatiana ever needs a new gimmick,
yeah,
she needs to incorporate the singing.
Her and Yinza were the baseline. Mm-hmm. And I should go along again for anybody on audio who was a part of that. Make sure I got everybody, because there's some new voices and faces on there from last year that haven't even been on the show yet. So Tatiana, a part of that, of course. Again, she was with us last year on this. Yinza, the Pittsburgh Luchador, the Count, a wonderful referee that's been working with us over at Prospect Pro Wrestling, and Michael Daugherty and his son Bodie. That was the random child. Keith Haught was a part of this. Of course, Justin Idol and Wink the Cat, his cat. Part of it. Did I miss anybody? I think that was everybody, right? So
I'm pretty sure that was it. Seeing a cat, that was not expected at all.
I really wish we did have a reaction cam. Yeah.
Incredibly welcomed.
Yes. So there you go. The Mayhem Christmas tradition continues.
And DP and Tina are both saying in the chat room that we need to book more tag team matches, you cowards.
Book more tag team matches.
We don't have a promotion to
yet.
Do that.
Yet. Wait till tax season. I understand somebody's selling a complete set of a promotion and a frog machine. But anyways, no more on that. The other tradition for our last show of the year, a frog machine. I watched somebody.
Details, goddammit.
We'll talk about that after the show. But the other tradition that we have are predictions for the new year. First, let's look at what did we think a year ago was going to happen here on the show. First of all, let's go with the people that can't defend themselves. Chris LaRusso was on the show.
Let us shame him.
So let us shame him. First of all, he lost to Zeke this past weekend because we were plugging that match.
He lost to a child.
So there's that. Chris LaRusso says, and you guys had several at this point, no less than 5 Pittsburgh talents will be seen on a national company in 2021. I think that's an easy number at this point.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
That's easy. AEW will continue to cooperate mentality, the cooperation mentality for union with New Japan, Impact, and AAA. I'd say that's pretty standard right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, throughout the year. Another woman another woman will have won a quote men's title excluding 24/7 title. Did that happen this year?
Are we counting the social media championship?
Social media championship. Ziggy winning the Rise.
Oh
Grand
yeah,
championship as
yeah,
well.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Ziggy,
I
absolutely.
think that was this year. Was that this year?
Yeah, that was this year.
Okay.
That was this year.
And Chris kicks Bradley in the face.
Oh,
that didn't happen.
I
That
hope
didn't
that
happen.
happens.
We
Yeah.
have
No?
2 more. We have 2 more weeks.
We have 2 more weeks.
We
2
have,
more weeks.
We have 2 weeks to make that happen.
All right. Well,
We
hey,
don't- so, is that what's in your trunk?
what?
Oh my
Is
God!
Lewis in your
Yes.
trunk right now, and he's gonna jump out and kick him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Book it.
Book it. Also, 3 area talents will be signed to major companies. At least 2 have.
2 of them.
Between Frost and Lee. Was there anything else I'm missing?
Frost, Lee. Did
Dombrowski to
Gentlemen,
MLW.
Dombrowski to MLW.
Dombrowski.
Oh,
He's
Dombrowski
right
to
here.
MLW. There you go.
Well,
Joe, congratulations.
Guys,
I
can
owe
we
it all
keep
to
it down?
Chris
I think you woke up Joe.
I think we look up Joe. Yes. Let's see. Bring my thing back up. Also, Tatiana was on the show last year, and she says someone's pun will drive Chris LaRusso over the edge. Joe, I think you've seen more of them than me. Did that happen at any point?
I think that's a weekly basis.
Okay, gotcha. Lee Moriarty will be signed. Dead ringer.
Boom.
Right on the nose there, Toddy.
Nailed it.
Pittsburgh Indy Wrestling taken over by talent in the biz 2 years or less.
Huh?
Well, Larry, that's more of a future prediction.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a big
we have
kind
to
of
remember that like next year.
like I don't know if there was
Gonna
a
be a
so I think she's talking about like people that have been in the business with under 2 years would be at the forefront of many of the companies in the area. I don't know the math on that to see if there is that might be.
You're seeing it to an extent. Cole Carter, Spencer Slade,
Yeah.
Zach
Okay.
Nystrom, guys like that are starting to rise up. So I would give that at least partial credit.
Okay, good. Yeah, I again didn't know the math. Tatiana will go a full year without getting injured. I think she did.
Yes,
did.
I believe so.
Yeah, so bravo. Let's see. All right, I'm going to put myself out here first. I said
here we
that
go.
New Japan America expansion, more shows with fans for them. Yes, that definitely happened.
Yeah.
Everyone will subscribe to Just Pro Wrestling News. Thank you for doing that. By the way. Let's see. What else we got? Ronnie. You ready for this?
How bad were my predictions?
You only had one for some reason.
Didn't I put over Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy will win the TNT championship.
Womp womp.
Nope. Okay. Mad Mike, are you ready? Are you ready?
I was so wrong, I'm sure.
Are you ready to be shamed?
Yes.
AEW will get second TV show 10 p.m. on Mondays, 1 hour.
Oh. So close.
You got
So
like
you got the
90% of
date
that.
wrong.
Wow.
So close.
Well, technically, you can watch Elevation on YouTube.
That can fill in the rest of your partial credit, Mike.
Okay.
To give you a full.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take 0.75 of a point.
Undisputed Era to Raw or SmackDown.
Well, dead wrong on that.
Dead wrong.
wrong.
They're still talking about the frog machine in the chat. Someone else from WWE will be signed to Marvel or Star Wars TV show, at least announced in 2020.
Do we count DC?
Who's on DC?
Wait.
You talking about Cena?
Cena.
I think he was
Oh
announced.
no, Cena was already announced.
Samoa Joe.
So, okay. Samoa Joe is King Shark in the video game, right?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll count that.
Yeah, that's at least a partial.
I'll count that. Yeah.
AAA Marvel characters will be in Spider-Verse 2. It didn't happen this year.
Unclear. There's still a chance for that to
Unconfirmed.
happen.
We'll know in 2 days.
What is this?
No, I'm saying Spider-Verse too.
You were looking forward to an R Sleuth show on WWE TV.
A what show?
R Sleuth. R Truth, R Sleuth. like a detective show, apparently.
Oh,
according
all
to
right.
this.
I mean,
What
wow.
were you? How
To
much?
be fair, yeah, okay, that didn't happen.
Did we get a game show though?
Game show?
Oh, we did get R-Truth's game show.
We did.
Yeah. Was that this
Yeah.
year? Was that this year or last year?
I have to check.
Okay. All right. We go.
Okay.
Riz, you're next. Ready for
Okay.
this? Okay.
No.
All right. One of the main primetime companies in television will have a trios championship. Wah wah.
Yep.
There's been interest. There's been talk of it amongst
There
companies.
has been interest.
Another woman on Men's Royal Rumble. I don't think that happened this year.
I don't think that did happen.
No.
So,
No.
Go for two.
Riz will read another joke, which he did.
Ooh.
Shit.
Oh, this is when you have the joke book.
Riz,
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
read it, read it,
Riz,
read it,
Riz,
read
Riz
it.
will forget
I remember this one.
Riz will forget he has the joke book.
Oh my God! Amazing.
I did it.
Amazing.
I'm gonna
Amazing. Riz
I'm
called
done.
his own joke from last year.
He's looking for the book. He's
walking off.
away.
He walked off the show.
I actually have no idea where that
That's
book is.
the most amazing year later magic trick I've ever seen on the show.
I have no
And
idea
you know
where
the
that book
funny
is
thing
now.
is, you know the funny
Besides
thing. I think
all of
after after Riz made that prediction, he did read another joke from the book, so technically both of those came true.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Oh man, Omega
I'm
will
not good.
Omega will appear on NXT maybe as someone in
Nope.
the crowd.
No.
What the
Yeah, you don't have
hell?
to read that one.
And is that it? Is that all we had on the
That was
show
it for
last
me.
year? That's it.
Yeah.
That's
That
it.
was it.
That's all the predictions from last year. Okay.
so.
All right. So, predictions for 2022.
2022.
All right, WMS. Hold on, I gotta take notes here because then I'll never remember
Okay.
these. Or I'm not gonna write these at 2 in the morning when I do these notes. So who is ready for your predictions for 2022?
And if you're in the chat room, we'll take your predictions as well.
Yes.
What's our cap on predictions?
I don't know. 3.
Okay.
I think we went a little wild with it last year. Unless you don't do something sequential like you just did.
Like I just predicted.
Yes, you predicted yourself, which I don't know. That feels like cheating, but it seemed very
no, I
genuine.
really
You
don't
seemed
know where I put that.
Yeah.
book.
What is happening?
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, so who wants to go first? Who has something going on here?
I don't have mine ready yet, but I have my wife's predictions ready.
Oh, your wife's predictions?
Yes.
Okay.
So
All right.
I told her we were gonna make predictions. She was like,
Wives
"I make
of
some."
Mayhem
Like,
are down, and she is somebody who you have indoctrinated into watching wrestling, correct?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Yes.
Mainly WWE. Mainly. So all these predictions are WWE based. Her first prediction, fairly bold one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte will leave WWE.
Okay.
All right.
That is a pretty bold one though.
Yeah, I think it could happen. I think it absolutely could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also it also very much likely may not.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing. It's like if you said that a month or two ago, she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's like we don't know yet. We don't know
But she
anymore.
has a problem with
Who
left,
knows?
so who knows? Okay. All right.
All right. Second prediction: Bray Wyatt will return to WWE. Who knows? I told her, I'm like, I don't know if I see that happening, but we'll see.
Okay.
Bianca will beat Becky for the women's title. And she also thinks Carmella and Corey Graves will break up. So, hitting home a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Are you ready for yours?
No. Not yet. I need to think a little bit more.
Okay.
I'll give real predictions this year.
Sure.
And more than
I'll
one.
Is that your prediction? Is that
No,
your prediction?
No, that my prediction is I will give more of a shit about the predictions this year.
I'm not writing that down.
No, we're not. No, you don't get pointed for that.
No.
Okay, so my real predictions are
What's Rizz doing?
Just trying to
Pittsburgh
find
Indy
things.
wrestling wrestlers will still get more TV time on big promotions.
Okay, we got
at least 2 Pittsburgh Indy talents will get signed somewhere. And Rizz will continue to forget his joke book.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Rizz.
Next year, I'm
Rizz.
going to find it.
I was gonna say Rizz before the show next year.
Right
I'm
here.
just going to text you a week before and be like, "Don't forget your joke book."
Don't you
Fucking
dare.
on here,
Just
Ronnie.
just to fuck with Ronnie.
Don't
Better
you
be,
fucking
you better
dare.
be on here.
I'm setting an alarm for myself for next year. To
Don't
remind
you
myself.
fucking dare.
That's cheating.
Setting alarm for December 1, 2022.
MLW's Joe Dombrowski. Do you have any predictions for 2022?
Why, thank you for asking. For the sake of the wrestling business as a whole, I think there are a few different moves I'm expecting to see in 2022. I feel like 2022 will see the NXT program either bumped out of prime time or cut down to an hour. I see AEW Dynamite overtaking Raw as the #1 cable show in the ratings war as far as 18 to 49. I foresee at least one other wrestling promotion getting a major national television deal of some sort in 2022. And I also predict that Lee Moriarty will continue to be the best wrestler on planet Earth and will continue to stubbornly refuse to admit it.
Hold on, that was too fast for me to type.
I was gonna say, I'm like, Sorg must be really.
I'm
That's
doing-
why you record this stuff. Come on.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why
not.
you're
I don't
here,
listen.
Sorg.
I don't
Well,
listen back.
we
to
are
the show.
recording it too, Sorg. You can come back to it.
You got a whole year to write it down.
All right. Wait, did I get that right? So I want to make sure I grok that too. WWE program will be bumped from prime time or cut down to an hour. Was that
NXT?
No, it's
Oh,
NXT.
NXT. Okay, I missed that one. Okay, and you said that AEW will overtake WWE in ratings.
Overtake my. Why are you even the host of this show
What?
if you're getting everything I'm saying wrong?
I.
Who are you?
Dynamite will beat Raw in the 18 to 49.
Oh,
Dynamite
okay.
will overtake Raw as the consistent #1 on
Okay.
cable as far as pro wrestling goes. Yes.
All right, we're on in 18.
Don't we do the whole bit over again? I can just do the whole segment over.
Just hit rewind and
We just start the show.
I can
Okay, we're starting the show over again.
Welcome to
Hi,
the
guys.
Wrestling Mayhem show.
Just wait.
There you go. I love that. Like, I love when people sing the the theme to the song. I love because it. Yes. I'll fix that later. Farnsworth, do you have predictions for 2022?
I'm going to go bold on this one.
Mm-hmm.
The main event will be signed to a national company.
Mm-hmm.
I will also go New Japan Pro Wrestling America. Will continue to make inroads toward becoming a national product.
Okay.
Either through more touring or possibly a television slot.
Okay. That it?
I will also predict that Funky Joey D still gonna be funky. Funky.
Still funky. And I've witnessed Funky Joey D because on a car ride back from West Virginia one time, he really slammed the Run DMC Degeneration X song. I gotta say,
I did.
You did. That was astonishing. That got me through like the last hour of that trip.
You're welcome.
I mean, let's be serious. The King of Rock, who?
Mm-hmm.
The King of Rock, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, okay.
Who's
Yeah.
next? We got Joe, we got Ronnie, we got Lisa,
it.
we got Rizz. Rizz, what are you doing?
So, going out on a limb here and say there's going to be a wrestling show streamed from G4.
Ooh. Okay.
2. Somebody in the Pittsburgh area will win chip in the major promotion. Maybe
You
the
cut off.
other
You
way.
said you will win a championship in a major promotion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And 3, Tripp's going to ask for his release.
Wow.
Thanksgiving's going to be really awkward.
Yeah.
You know, I was debating one of my predictions being that AEW announces their new chief of operations, Paul Levesque.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Terrorizing.
Thank you, Rizz. You also reminded me of one of mine that I was going to make. Mad Mike, are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Mad Max, let's go.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Mad
what's up?
Max on the 1s and 2s.
Mhm.
All right. My first prediction is that someone from AEW will main event a WWE pay-per-view.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know who, but someone. I have a feeling. My second one, I was also going to include something from G4, but
Go ahead.
I
Go
will
ahead.
say
Go ahead.
I will say that the party, which is Woods, Cole, Breeze, and Cesaro, will be reunited on G4 at some point.
They were close. They were close already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, but I think they're going to get over Cole getting in there somehow. I think it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I'm going to say that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan will form a 2-man power trip in AEW and capture the world title, the TNT title, and the tag titles.
Basically every title.
Yes. And for my final prediction, oh man, this one's tough. I'm going to say a friend of the show will become a world champion.
Ooh.
Duh.
Shane Taylor.
I have one in mind.
Shane Taylor was
but
very close recently, by the way.
I know. I have one in mind. I'm keeping that close to the vest, but I have a feeling it might happen.
Elias.
I don't even know. Elias is like wandered away, and I don't know.
He's drifted off.
He's drifted away. So wait, did you just do 4?
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
They're good ones. I'll allow it. Well,
Thank
I mean,
you.
this is an easy one and goes along with a couple of you guys. I think I've already said this, but I'm going to stick with Lee being a TNT champ before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Is one. It's kind of an easy one for me. I think that STP, Shane Taylor Promotions, will successfully get like most of the group into a promotion together.
Okay, see it.
Okay.
Like I know that's, I mean, you know, on paper that's the mission, right? So, and I think somebody's going to do it. I think somebody's going to take them.
They'll secure the bag.
They'll secure the bag. The AEW Impact, it doesn't matter. How New Japan, like you're going to see them somewhere together in a major company.
MLW.
MLW. Who knows? Go to. I'm just writing my own notes. And I'm gonna go with. Jeez. Wrestle Kingdom will move to 4 nights. Actually, no, because we know it's 3 nights.
No,
so that won't be.
God,
but it could be
no.
announced, right? So.
By the way, this whole 2-night WrestleMania thing,
it's
all
messing
New
with
Japan's
me.
fault. This is all New Japan's
It is.
fault.
It's New Japan and COVID's fault, right? Because that's when they tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I think we will see, and I'm going to go off something you said earlier, Joe. I think Mexican wrestling, because I don't think it is now. I don't know. It's a perspective thing for me, but I feel like Mexican wrestling isn't as accessible as Japan wrestling. Is everybody else on that vibe too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think Mexican wrestling, whether it be AAA, whether it be MLW's relationship down there, I think that accessibility, beyond what's obviously happened with MLW and the show coming up in January, I think that's going to be like, I feel like it's going to look like, in some fashion, like how New Japan was starting to look like 4 or 5 years ago when we started looking at it, like, hey, maybe we should pay attention to Wrestle Kingdom kind of thing, right? Which I guess to a point we already kind of look at Triple Mania, right? But I think that's going to become more extensive as we go, which is wild since it's right there, right? But yeah. Other than, we see a lot of Mexican talent across indie shows, right? So, but yeah. Oh. All right. Well, was there anything in the chat room while we were rolling?
Yeah, there's
all right.
There's I'll read Podner's here because he has some good ones.
Okay.
First, he's saying that NXT goes to the network and gets dropped by USA Network.
I'm sorry, what?
Obviously.
It goes back
by
to
USA.
Peacock.
Yeah, it goes to the cock. Peacock.
Okay.
Also, at this time in 2021, Roman won't lose the title.
Roman will
still champion, Sorg.
Okay.
Yeah, still champ. In AEW, there will be at least 3 title changes for the main men's title.
Wow.
Not bad. And he also tried to correct everybody in saying that technically Britt Baker is still the champ.
I mean another.
Yeah, we
new
need
one,
a
new
new
one, yeah.
champion.
Yeah. I mean someone who's been on the show, like this show, like proper. Like,
and he did correct himself and say 2022.
Yes.
And I see that happening. All right, I can do Tina's too if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Tina is saying that Thunder Rosa will hold a major championship.
Do we count the TBS title?
I'd say it's a mid-card championship.
It is, but
yeah.
We can count
Darby,
it. We can count it.
Darby and Sting will have tag titles. A major recent release will debut at Revolution. And Danielson will NJWP Strong Show.
He will what? Say that again.
He'll appear
at Bryan Danielson will be at New Japan Strong.
Yeah.
I think it's an easy one.
And that is looking up here. Yep, that's it.
All righty. Let me double check the other chat rooms real quick, but I think that is going to be it
for us. If you want to just check the Twitch source.
Yeah, I'm checking that real quick too.
There you go.
But I think we're going to be pretty clean on that. But anyways, I think that is going to wrap it up. And guys, that's going to wrap it up for the live editions of at least the Tuesday show for 2021. It's been a hell of a year. Thank you, everybody who's been rolling with us throughout the year. And we've been able to do some really, really cool things and still talk to some really, really cool people throughout the year. If you need some more, hey, I encourage you to look back at some of the interviews we've done throughout the year on the Indie Mayhem show, some of the guests we've had on this show. And again, you won't be without content. Again, the STD's Christmas special will be it's scheduled to be happening this Friday night. That's probably going to be about at 9 p.m. start time. We're going to confirm that. And then we'll have that in hopefully another special edition here on the off weeks. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Farnsworth, for coming back.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here. Everyone have a great holiday and a happy New Year.
And of course, the voice? Are you the voice or a voice? Have you?
I am a voice.
A voice of MLW.
I am the voice in your heart. Though.
Yes, that is true. Always first. Sorry, Rich. But thank you so much, Joe Dombrowski. Always good having you on the show, and probably my longest compatriot in professional wrestling. So it's been over 10 years we've been working on projects together, right?
You're welcome, and my condolences.
Yeah, both are appropriate, I believe. So, thank you so much, man. Mike 4883 on the tweets.
Yes, and don't spoil Spider-Man for me. Also, Sorg, I do want to try and get us to do a Spider-Man reaction show.
Yeah, we'll have some time, and we have some new tools, so we'll probably be doing that.
And plus, Hawkeye will have ended at that point too, so we'll have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't watch last week's episode yet, so
It was good.
That's all right. I'll have plenty of time over the holiday to catch up. Ronnie Starks, have fun in your roadie position this New Year's.
Yeah, that's
your new
fun.
career, apparently.
I just agreed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let them. Don't let anybody steal your songs.
'Cause I'm such a talented guy, right?
There you go.
You better learn the words to "With My Baby Tonight."
That's right.
Well, spend my days working harder to go, man.
Ronnie, if I end up at that same event to you, I better walk by you humming along to "With My Baby Tonight." So. And the Rizz plays games on Twitch. What was that sigh? You're like, yes, yeah, I got a Twitch channel.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
happening
so.
on Twitch.
I guess so.
I guess you can, subscribe to me and get the great colleague you had and have so much fun with me playing video games. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
So much enthusiasm.
I still have Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 to play over here. I'm doing okay.
Well, you're just pointing at the logo.
Oh yeah, my logo, which is First Place Games.
There you go. Exactly. Thank you so much, everybody, again for joining us. We'll see you somewhere down the line here. Until then, Mayhem out for the year.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.